Hello, I'm Corey Hawkins, and welcome to the first of 3 videos I'm creating with the intention of helping new gardeners learn how to make a garden plan. You ready? Let's go. So you've decided that you want to start a garden. That's great. You're going to need to make a plan, and to make a plan, you need to do a little reconnaissance. What is this reconnaissance? First and foremost, I think it's important for you to determine why you're starting a garden. Your motivation for starting is what's going to dictate your goals, and your goals are what are going to form your plan. Second, you're going to need to evaluate your resources. What do you have available to you to create a garden? What kind of obstacles do you have to overcome? Third, you want to figure out what is it that you want to grow. And fourth, you need to figure out how are you going to grow what it is that you want to grow. In this video, I will be discussing your motivation and your resource evaluation. In the second video, I will discuss how to plan for what you want to grow. And in the third video, I'm going to share my garden plan as a means for bringing it all together for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's talk motivation. Why are you starting a garden? Your reasons could be as simple as, I just want to see what happens. I'm curious. That's great. That will dictate a very specific plan. Your reasoning might be your family eats a lot of vegetables, in which case you should be making videos about that. Anyway, maybe your family eats a lot of vegetables and you want a majority of them to be organic and you want to know where they come from. That's going to dictate a plan. Your family eats a lot of vegetables and you're looking to save money. So your budget is your consideration, and that's going to create a very different plan from the plan of eating all organic. Budgetary considerations. Hard to say. Maybe your motivation is that you can foods, or you make, sauces or salsas or pickled things, and you're looking to double down on your homemadeness by making homemade, homegrownness. That's great. That's going to dictate a plan. For me, I got started in gardening because honestly, my husband and I had a conversation some 10 years ago that went something like, we're both uncomfortable with the fact that we've outsourced our food production so much so that we're heavily reliant on grocery stores for our food, which isn't necessarily a bad thing until it becomes an issue. So my goal was to learn how to grow a lot of food should I need to feed my family. And that my garden has been big ever since the beginning. I don't necessarily recommend starting big, but I did, and it was okay. This year, my motivation is that I want to grow extra food in case our community has a need for food. Excuse me. Because that's likely. So there's that. So looking at your motivation is really going to determine how much time, how much energy, how much money you're going to put into this, how much thought you need to put into this. There's a huge difference between I'm just going to grow a couple tomato plants and I'm going to grow a crop of tomato plants. Different things. So determine why it is, and we'll start building from there. You're also going to need to evaluate your resources. So the number one resource you're going to need is a place to put a container full of dirt. Whether it's a raised bed, whether you plant them directly in the ground, whether you do it in pots, you're going to need a space to put your plants. When you are deciding what's a good space to put your plants, what you need to consider is sun exposure and accessibility. So over the next couple of days, hopefully we'll have some sunny moments here in Washington. We're having one right now. 5 minutes from now, probably not, but whatever. In the next couple of days, take a walk around your property and just to evaluate, like, oh, look, the sun is shining there. It's 10 a.m. By 1 o'clock, it's gone. Or, oh, the sun is there all day long, or the sun never hits a square inch of dirt on my property. While that's not ideal, I'm sure there's ways to get creative about it. So look for where your sun exposure is. Another important factor is accessibility. Is there water close by? Your garden's going to need water, that's for sure. I don't recommend putting your garden in a place where you're going to have to walk water in. I've had to do that and it's not fun. I don't recommend it. But water is a big deal. Whether or not you can access your garden site with your wheelbarrow can be important depending on the size of your garden. If you can make sure you can get your tools back there or wherever you have your garden, that it's accessible to your wheelbarrow, your tools, water. Power's not so much of an issue, so I wouldn't worry about that. But something that to keep in mind is it is advantageous to keep your garden in a place where it's part of your everyday life, where you walk by it, where you can see it from your kitchen window. Something where it's in sight and in mind, because when you put things out of sight, out of mind, they tend to get neglected. So, and you may need to balance that. Maybe the only sunny spot in your house, on your property, is a place that's out of sight, out of mind. Well, that's really the best place to use. So if that's the case, either find a reason to put it into your regular life, or, you know, set reminders for yourself to go check on your garden, because, you know, neglect is easy when you don't see things. It's kind of like relationships, right? Okay, so that is the majority of what you need to check out for your resource evaluation. My next video, I'll talk specifically about how to choose what to grow. Now, obviously, you're gonna grow what you eat, what you like, what you are intending to use. But each different plant has specific requirements for growth, when to start them, when to plant them, when to harvest them. And what I'm going to do is teach you all how to decipher a seed packet. Seed packets have so much valuable information on them, but unless you know what you're looking at, it's all Greek, right? So next video, I'll go over how to evaluate or how to interpret a seed packet, and then talk a little bit about how to make accommodations for a few different plants, probably the more common plants: tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuces, carrots, things that people grow a lot of. If you have a specific vegetable you want me to talk about, please put that in the comments below. So thanks for watching. I hope that this was informative and get you thinking about your garden. I'll be back soon. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I hope that you and your families are doing well. And if you're staying home, thank you for staying home. It's actually much harder than it sounds. And if you're not staying home, you stay home, would you? All right. Thank you. Take care. We'll see you soon.